Good morning, dear viewer. Pleasure to have your company. Thank you so much for joining us once again for yet another special edition that is coming your way live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue, as we continue to celebrate women in ICT. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Well, we've been sharing with so many ladies, different panelists, each and every single day. That is from Monday to Thursday. And we've been here from the hours of 10 a.m. in the morning, sharing with quite a number of them and getting to know what are some of those barriers and how can we provide solution for them to enjoy, have a conducive environment as far as ICT is concerned, and how can they lift a sister in the rural setup out there. And we discussed quite a lot, I should say. Well, many of them would say they've not been nurtured from childhood, and as far as doing sciences is concerned, support from different men out there, and the bias as well, not having the role models, a number of things that we've been sharing right here. And so many other countries have carried out different reports on why the women are not so much into this tech world. What could be the hindrance out there? Should we do like Senegal has done as far as Uganda is concerned? Well, Senegal, certain non-governmental programs went ahead to provide phones, like our government goes ahead to provide mosquito nets and a number of necessities or incentives like that. Should our government go ahead in rural setup and try to choose districts and phones so that we can have all those women get into this environment and embrace the tech world? What needs to be done? Should we do research and get to know how many women visit the call centers, and what is their reaction? What do they get to know when it comes to what is done at the call center? Well, I keep looking down, interested about my panel for today, and I'll be joined by Rovens Kabahinda, software engineer. We shall be getting to know what she does when it comes to software engineering. And I'm also joined by Susan Awor, business administrator, merchandise Uganda. And because it's kind of chilly outside, I should say, it's been raining right here in Kampala where we're coming to you live, and Nante Regina has not been able to keep time, but she'll be joining us later in this particular conversation. Well, she's the founder of Impact Nutrition Company. She'll be joining us. Well, let me introduce my panel to you. Hello, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
Well, Susan is right here next to me.
Yes, good morning.
How have you been?
I am okay.
How does it feel to be in the tech world as a woman?
Challenging. They will judge you. You know, when it comes to tech, we are not educated enough out there, I should say. There's a lot, yes, there's a lot we should do to create awareness for everyone, to make sure that everyone has the same information I do. Yeah.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning to Sandra. Thank you so much.
How have you been?
I've been okay. Yeah.
How does it feel to be in the tech world? You being a software engineer, you'll be letting us know what exactly you do.
Being a software engineer itself, I was actually talking to my friend last night, and when they were calling me Engineer Rovers, I felt like it was something really huge. I'm like, I think I've not taken time to, feel the title. And then they were telling me, you really need to feel the title. And I'm like, yes, I really need to feel it. And yeah, it feels nice. It feels nice being in STEM. And for the people that I work with, they really make you feel like, yes, you need to be there. Yeah, so it feels nice. Yeah.
How did you get there? Because I mean, it could be your passion. Like, I know I love talking, but at the end of the day, I'm shy. But I want to reach out to so many people and be an inspiration. So what inspired you? How did you get there? Did you do sciences? Or were you forced to do the sciences? Or it was the in thing?
What I can say is, way back in senior 4, I really loved biology, I loved physics, I loved math. Much as I didn't choose to pass math, but I really wanted to do math. There is knowing what you're doing, but you have the passion, and then there is doing something that you really want to do, but you do not have, the knowledge to do it. So I shouldn't say I didn't have the knowledge. I had the knowledge, but it was a bit lacking, something like that. So I kept on pushing. Much as I used to get 60s, 50s, like I can do this all the other time around. So I ended up passing my math, I passed my physics, and I remember when it came to senior 5, my sister tells me, you're going to do medicine. And I told her I cannot do medicine because I hate chemistry. Much as I passed it, I don't think I'm going to manage doing it at A level. So I continue with physics and math. And then I remember my academic head teacher says, you cannot do physics, entrepreneurship, and math. But I wanted entrepreneurship for the fact that I love business as well. So I wanted to incorporate the engineering bit of it and business in my combination. So he refuses. He's like, I want you to do economics. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm going to go to the economics class and I see how it goes on. So I went to the economics class for the very first time. Things really didn't seem interesting as entrepreneurship was for me. So I go back to his office. I tell him, sir, I'm unable to do economics because of ABCD, and I'm going to do entrepreneurship instead. So I did my physics, entrepreneurship, and math. But meanwhile, I did not see myself in software engineering at the end of the day because I wanted to do electrical engineering. So when I filled my job form, I fill in electrical engineering and the rest, just like I said, I love business. I fill in business courses because there are 6 choices. So I made the 5: business, accounting, procurement, international business, because I should say maybe I didn't have the career guidance or something, I don't know. Yeah, but all I wanted was electrical engineering at the top. If I had that, then I was good to go. Nothing like software engineering. So I sent my papers. I think I was staying in Rukunjiri, that side. I sent my papers through my sister. She was in Kampala to help me submit them to Makerere. So what she does, because I think she used to see a lot of potential in me, she believed in me just like my parents used to do, and my relatives, most of them. Yeah, so she changed everything that was on the job form, made sure she felt I was able to do software engineering, so she put software engineering as first choice, put computer science as second choice, put IT as third choice, and everything computer down the road. So, very funny.
She was having your head
yes,
and
yes.
your brains at the moment.
Yes. So, I remember the lists came out for private sponsorship because I missed out on government sponsorship. So the list came out and I'm shortlisted for software engineering, and I'm wondering, how did I get here? I only filled electrical engineering. I filled business courses. So how did Makerere give me software engineering? At the end of the day, I called my sister and I asked her. She did not disclose. Not until I went to her home, that's when I discovered the papers I had filled. She had actually trashed them and picked new forms, and she had copies of these new forms. That's how I found out, because I knew her handwriting, that she had actually filled for me software engineering. So I reached at campus. It was quite disturbing.
Did you feel like pulling her nose?
Yes, I did. Yes, I felt like pulling her ears and all that. I was so disturbed. I told her, I don't think I'll be able to fit in that class. First of all, I used to miss computer classes in high school. Yes, every time it was a computer class, I felt like it is time for me to rest a bit so that I am attentive in my math class because I loved math. So that I'm attentive in my physics class because I loved physics. So I didn't feel the urge for computer that time. So after that, I remember she called me to Auntie's office at Serena, and Aunt spoke to me
for counseling
and
guidance. The guidance you needed at the start.
Career guidance that I needed at the start. It's now time to get it. So Auntie speaks to me and she's like, why did you do PEM? What difference are you making between your physics and math and the person that just did math, economics, and geography? What difference are you making? So she asked me several questions, and at the end of the day, I saw the relevance of engineering in my life. I remember still when I went to campus, I was like, I'm just going to go to Senate behind these guys' backs. And
I just pass your examinations
yes,
and get out of that thing.
I passed my exams and just
get out.
Yeah, I felt like that for the very first year, the whole year, my first year. Even when programming was introduced, it felt really hard for me because
so at that particular moment you were doing it for your aunt, your whole family?
I was doing it for my auntie, I was doing it for my sister. Yeah, I was like, let me just pass.
So throughout the journey, you're like, at least someone needs to have the career guidance at the right time.
Exactly.
Well, that would be the case because the number of intakes that go on throughout the entire year for different universities. And I'm sure people sit down and they're like, where is my passion? Who do I do this for? Should I, you know, follow into my father's footsteps or my mother? You know, you want to be like your role model at the moment, or you want to please them at the end of the day, like they're spending, they're investing in you. And for someone out there, a student who is trying to figure it out, and like, what should I do? What should I go for? Will I easily fit into the job world? Will I, even if there's no one who's going to hold my hand, like the who knows who, to get that particular job, what would they do at the moment? Why would they go in and feel like the way your sister had to feel in everything for you? Susan, why would they feel in what you're doing at the moment? Why do they switch? Why would they choose to go for ICT?
Okay, just a minute. When she walked in, she found me seated, so I told her I have a daughter who is joining campus. So she was like, what? Just judging. So I told her I have a daughter who is joining campus, and I think I'm doing the same as her sister did, because I'm taking in the lead of, you have to do this.
You're the one who's holding the pen.
Everything,
and just writing
I was telling her, I'm going to fill in for, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this.
But I did not listen to what she exactly wants.
I have done that, but I also look at a point whereby, what will happen in the next 5 years? If she wanted to, for example, human resource, because that's what I did for myself. And I took it for myself, and time comes, some of these courses fade. Let's get to know that at some point accounting had money. Like everyone would do accounting, and in the accounting world, there was money. And today we are talking about ICT. Everyone is rushing into ICT. You get the point. So I have to sit as a parent and look at a situation whereby what happens in the next 5 years if it's ICT. And my girl did human resource like I did, and she has to have to struggle.
And then how about the consideration of like, why is she performing better? Does she really love maths, or, you know, something like that? Have you tried to study all that?
Yeah. I've done that because now let's look at a side of she wants to do, because I sit them down and I'd be like, what do you want to do? Then she's like, oh, when she says the first three and I don't see them in line with what I want, I'd be like, how about we think about this? I know you're not so great, but if you give it time, you can be so better.
Imagine she says she wants to be a farmer.
I don't know that I would be doing
because at the end of the day, we need to find, we need to bridge the gap in all these,
true,
to find a way of incorporating them into the ICT world. Yes. So how are you going to help her?
You know, there is also ICT in farming. Did you know that? Yeah. I think I would consider the fact that she wants to do farming, but then first go for ICT, because there are different groups now when it comes to ICT. You can go, like she said, I wanted electronical. We know that ICT in electronical. We know that in banks. So I would guide her to first take in the first one I want, because I know what the future brings than she does. Like I wouldn't sit here and a 16-year tells me, Mom, you know what, I want to be a doctor. And I'd be like, okay, I am going to pay my fees for 6 or 10 years and I don't have that money. You're laughing.
You're already putting calculations at the front.
First thing.
So listen, from her experience, you're still going to jot down and make the decision?
I'll do that.
Because there's some people, at the end of the day, they'll go for that particular course that mommy wants. Because I have a niece who was taking that path, like doing what she never wanted, but did it to please my big sister who was paying the tuition for her. At the end of the day, she had to switch after graduating, and she had to go to a media class. I will definitely go for media, because that was her passion, but she did the other one and did graduate.
Okay, there should be two options here. I'm looking at a life whereby you're going to do ICT for now, and when you grow up and you can afford yourself, go for what you want.
Now, do you know what? Let's get the solutions from from Robbins there. Please guide Susan.
Yes.
Because she could be like another parent out there who is watching and is trying to think and like, okay, where should I Where should I position her? Where can I position him? It's tough a decision to make, you know,
yes.
because at the end of the day, like she says, in 5 years to come, is she going to fit into the job market, you know? Be able to embrace the money economy so well. So throughout the journey, you've embraced what they are chosen for you, and it has worked for you.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
So try to give her some tips. The whole long year you were like, okay, I'm doing this for the person who is paying tuition for me. But now here you are, and you're already qualified. Yes, please guide her.
I think what Susan can do, or a parent outside there that is watching, what they can do, for example, if someone grows up, you need to monitor what are they able to do, what are their passions and all that, so that after monitoring, for example, you would easily see a child that is more passionate about engineering compared to a person that is actually a people person, HR and all that. Because personally, I have a sister that did arts, and when it came to time for university, I sat her down. I asked her, what would you like to do? And she told me, according to my course, I literally don't know what I can do right now, but I gave her options. I told her, with your combination, you can be able to do A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So I listed for her the different roles that she can do. And then at the end of the day, because I am a step ahead of her, I was able to direct her depending on, like, for example, Susan was saying, can she be able to compete in the market at a later time? Or she will do this course, and then at the end of the day, it has lost meaning, and in the job market, it is not there. So I told her, for example, if you're to look at accounting, accounting was marketable before, and when you're to compare it with HR, as of now, HR stands at a better position because of ABCD. I gave her my reasons as to what I know. So the same story goes on, and that's what I would advise you, Susan, to do, or a parent outside there. While you guide your child, make sure you guide them in something you have watched them grow into. If she has done arts, do not force her to do sciences at the end of the day, because she will not fit in class, and you will not be there to sit for her the exams at the end of the day. It is her to sit the exams, it is him to sit the exams. Yeah, so you have to understand their passion, understand what they would want to become, and just guide them accordingly at the end of the day, and make, just tell them how relevant this course will be at the end of the day, and how it will be marketable in the long run. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also thinking about a parent out there was also telling themselves, is this really relevant? You get it? Why should such a parent guide their child to enroll into ICT? Why, Susan, why do you want your daughter to take it upon her to, to walk that kind of path?
Okay, let's look at 10 years before. ICT was nowhere. When you talk about ICT, it was like
a guy's thing.
Like it would be like, okay. But looking at 5 years from now, or right now, everything we are doing is digital. We all know that. That you would sit in your home, do everything from there. You get to know that. That one day, one time, you're going to scrap off every life we are thinking about now, and there will be ICT taking the lead in the next 5 years. We all have to take that. So I don't want to wake up in the morning and be this one mother who sat here and knew that there should be a life ahead of my daughter and forget that. I would encourage my daughter to take in ICT because I know where we are heading. You get the point? And I know when we talk about ICT, we have a lot of like innovation out there. But then if she wanted to take in, for example, maybe doctor, she is going to be left out kinda. I shouldn't say left out because doctors will just fire me. Yeah, I think that is it.
Okay. I'm still thinking, just like any other viewer out there is also thinking. Like, one wants to really be convinced on why they should let their children walk the path that you're walking. And well, for the viewer out there, it's good to know you're still watching and following. We're here to celebrate women in ICT, Women's Month. My name is Sandra, and of course I'm having an interesting panel, Susan and Provence. here discussing on why you should let your child walk the path of be part of the tech world. And like I promised that we're going to be having Nantege Regina, the founder of Impact Nutrition Company. She has just joined us. You're most welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
How have you been?
I've been okay.
Did you enjoy Women's Day, or are you enjoying the Women's Month? Apart from the weather here in Kampala.
For a founding startup owner, you don't really get a lot of time to set it aside to enjoy the month, but such opportunities make us enjoy it because it's because of the Women's Month that we are hosted here, for the fact that we're women and also business owners with ICT related businesses. So that's the enjoyment.
There has to be enjoyment somewhere. Because I mean, waking up every single day like, okay, I have to go back to this job, you know? Doesn't feel nice.
I guess if you love what you do, it's easy for you to not realize that you didn't actually take off a break. Breaks are healthy, but I feel like for me, what I do with the nutrition, every single day you're meeting different people and sharing different impacts. So it sort of keeps you going without even a break. Like, people keep you motivated. Today someone will tell you, I've had this change in my health because of you. So it keeps you going.
Okay. Well, speaking about what you do, we shall be getting to that in a few minutes. What inspired you? Trying to find out how you got into this whole world of ICT.
Okay.
Were you doing the course for your parent?
No. So I happen to differ from my other panelists. I am a nutritionist by profession. I have a bachelor's in nutrition and dietetics and currently undertaking a master's in the same field. But right out of university, I started a business. I didn't do a graduation. I actually did a business shower where I was telling people about my business, and those family and friends came to know what products and services I would offer.
Okay, I'll take you back. Business shower, please tell us about it. How was it like? You were used to the bridal showers and all that?
Yes, so it was different. I was scared. I'm just lucky that everyone, like one of the panelists said, had seen that I had passion for nutrition. So it was easy for them to say, okay, you don't want to call people to eat food, you want them to come and also learn about what you're offering. Because I was now worried about, I'm not going into the job market to get a job. I have started a business, I need customers. And the best way to get my first customers was to let the people around me, family and friends, that know that I offer these services. Please recommend someone for me. So that's why we did a business shower. It was really just me telling them what it was odd. Actually, most of my friends didn't attend. I had a small batch because it wasn't the typical party. But the people who came, I told them what I'm offering.
But at least you did register some achievements.
Yes. I measured them, their weight, their height, and told them what to do. Some of them invited me to give health talks at their company, so it was a kickstart. Then later on, as I was doing the business, the ICT came in where I needed these land fellows to support my business because I was to make more money. Yes, because it became hectic. I think maybe that's why this year I don't feel it's so hectic, because it became hectic. So I realized I needed something to automate a few aspects of my business. It was becoming a pain to send daily reminders to my clients. It was becoming a pain to track their progress. So I needed a mobile application that they could use. So I reached out to people who have studied ICT. Yeah. And how has the journey been like for you? It has been interesting working. I work with local Ugandan developers. So for those of you who are wondering if there are jobs for you, there are people like us who we are here building Uganda. Yes, building Uganda and buying Uganda. There are people like us who just I even on my bedroom wall right now, there are ideas of how I wanted my user interface to look like, how I wanted the back end to feel, but I wasn't going to build that. Not like the whole wall is filled with jewelry? No, my wall has paper and I write on the ideas. I have a column where I write the user interface, how the person sort of gets the app, and then I have the back end of what I imagine in my lay language. I don't know ICT, but my lay wording of this is what I expect this to look like. Then this is what I carried to the developer, the Ugandan developer, and said, I want a mobile application that looks like this. And we started making the work around September. We were ready.
So that is how you're using ICT in the field you're positioned in.
Yes.
It has made your work easier.
A lot easier. Because right now I would be worried about, you know, the client's progress. Now they're feeding in the progress themselves. They're getting the reminders real time now without me having to be the one to send every individual client a message.
Mm-hmm. We have a parent here. Anyway, it's such a coincidence, because today my heart was going out for such a parent out there who is thinking, and like with the intakes coming through, where can I position my child? Should I really take them to take the path of ICT? Where can I enroll them, you know, for a particular course? And luckily, I have one on the panel. He's also thinking the same. She's trying to wonder where to. She's trying to ponder about it and think of where to place her daughter. What advice would you give such a parent?
I have worked with developers from placing university, institution-wise. I've worked with developers from Makerere University who have then, after their course, upgraded their own learning, because I believe there's a lot of self-learning in ICT, because Google has some programs. They have taught me a few languages, Kotlin, etc. I don't know them, but I understand that you teach yourself things beyond the university, and I understand that there are opportunities beyond the standard structured institutional education, that if someone is really interested, I could be wrong, but I think if someone is really, really interested, they can actually take on courses on their own in ICT. I think that's the uniqueness in that sector. For health, my side, you don't teach yourself nutrition and come to the hospital and practice. But for ICT, when I'm looking for a developer, all I need is for you to actually give me the output, and the other thing that that parent really has to place for this child is this child also has to learn the soft skills, the relevancy, because it's one thing to know what to do, but it's another for you to be relatable. Working with my developers, I was very scared. I first paid school fees meanwhile. I first paid someone who couldn't do it, so the money went. Then I paid the next person who was with me and shared my vision and was willing to unlearn and relearn until we create something. So I feel like in addition to the learning, they also have to learn the soft skills of relatability, because they have the skill set, but most of us who have the idea fear that how am I going to relate with this individual and give them my idea. My developers literally have my whole business in their hands. They know everything. They can sell the whole product to someone else. Please don't. But that trust, that trust, that relatability, that willingness for me. I know business owners, young startups like myself who are not in ICT are even looking for co-founders in ICT, because it adds to your value as a business. Right now, mine is outsourced, but if I looked out for someone and we related so much and I could make them a co-founder, it would come from a point of I trust you and you're holding the vision with me. So I think that they shouldn't think they should all create the businesses themselves, because in life we collaborate, but they should have that ability to relate in addition to their skill.
Wow, relatedly on the same, you know, the same theme that she's putting across in support of the parent out there who could be stranded, or maybe the child is trying to figure out where she can position herself. How would you wish to be supported in your area of expertise? I start with the software engineer. How would you wish to be supported?
Something I could say, maybe for women in STEM, currently, I would say, anyway, according to the UNESCO report, 38% women constitute of the STEM people that are, the women that are in STEM. So that means women are underrepresented when it comes to STEM and tech fields and all that. So what I would say is maybe if we can have more mentors, people that have made it there already in tech or in STEM come up and give success stories, then it would be more relevant for someone that is struggling there, down there in senior one and trying to, you know, I want to do tech, but they don't know how successful are people in tech. So if they watched those stories, if they listened from those people, then they would be you know, encouraged to actually know that tech, people are successful there, women are there, and they are making it. And then also still goes to underrepresentation. What maybe the government can do is to support the women-led startups. I would like to appreciate the High Innovator, NSF High Innovator project. They have supported women currently, and it is something really nice, and so many women are actually coming up. They are being given, you know, funds to accelerate their businesses and all that. So if we can have much more of that, the incentives, the support from the government, from our mentors, from the people that have made it, then definitely we could have more people in the tech field. Yes.
Yeah, sounds convincing. Well, what would your thoughts be, Susan?
Okay, where she said people to come out and tell stories, I think I should start from there. One, I work with an application company, which is Merchandise Uganda, and we have projects of empowering women. These women are not just women like Susan, who is out here, who can speak for herself, but we're looking into women who are in markets. We give them visibility. Women who don't know how to brand themselves. Women who cannot speak for themselves, but they want to start up something. Women who are selling maybe like pancake out there, but they don't know what ICT is. They don't know how to use their phones. Like you said, we are underlooked. That is very true. But Merchandise Uganda is trying, like she said, she wants those people to come out and say, we are doing this. We are trying to make sure women out there are supported in many ways. We give them classes on how to brand yourself, how to package your product out, how to stand out, how to be an outstanding woman with a small business, how to bring out your small capital into others who have big capital, how to get international market, not just look into Uganda and sit here and be like, me, I'm doing clothes, I just want to be a Ugandan product. Buy Uganda, sell Uganda, just end in Uganda. So Merchandise Uganda tries to build these women, not only market, we have a lot, we have youths, we have person with disability programs, you get it? So the first call would be maybe government to support people in ICT. I'm not saying they're not doing. First, I want to say thank you to UBC, because the first time I saw this show, someone in Dubai sent it to me and like, Susan, you're at UBC, but you've not seen this before. And I'm like,
and you were embarrassed.
I'm like, okay, I almost said I'm no longer in UBC, but I said, okay, I'm in UBC, just that I was sick.
But now you're right here seated in the program.
So, okay, I want to say thank you to UBC, and I want to call upon government. I think government needs to do a lot. There is a lot, because
instead of giving out mosquito nets and think of giving out
and
phones.
Also there is this other thing. If someone has an application, like you said, I feel better to work with developers. When someone brings out an idea, it doesn't have to come to a competitive scale. Like, I'm going to give an example. You have the money, I don't have the money. So I come with you, we do an idea, I bring an idea. Instead of collaborating to push me out so that the ICT world stands strong, you're going to think about, how about I build the same? Not knowing I have the brain than you do. You have the money, but you cannot stand this for the next 2 years, even if it's 1 year. There is nowhere ICT has copy and paste. It can be in social media here. I can have a show, you have a show, the same, they merge, because you can both speak. But in ICT, what I have, you don't have. You get the point?
Yes.
So we call upon the government. Government has to do a lot. Like, she needs the stories are there. But the government has to support people who are in ICT to make sure that those small projects.
She has a business, we need her products to go beyond.
Yes, and actually I didn't know her product, she didn't know my product. But if there was that way of, now let's say this project, this show is going to push women out there. Different women are going to be like, I was here, but I didn't know this show until a colleague sent it to me. So government has to do that innovation, like she talked about NSSF giving women money. Is that all we need? No. Not really. You need money.
You need much more.
Yes. There is a lot you can do. I have a friend of mine, she works with, I think, Business Trends. She's the CEO. She once sat me down and said, Susan, we have spoken about ICT, we shall speak, we shall speak, we shall speak. But do you think that's all people want? We shall call people to give us money, NGOs. Do you think that's all we need? You will give me 10 million, but when I don't have what to do with that 10 million, it will do nothing. So I want to call upon maybe stakeholders, people in ICT and have made it. Like, if I have an idea and I don't have money, how can you support me to make sure we are out there together, because I'm not doing it for myself. In ICT, it's not for my family, it's for this country.
Lifting up someone else,
yes.
you know, to fit and
yes, like she said, she is doing nutrition, but she didn't know what to do with the apps. I have the knowledge, you get. So that collaboration is what we need to make sure we are out there. Because as more as we feel like the Ugandan part of us saying, I don't know which one is the right word. I can do it for myself. We are not taking ICT at anywhere. We're going to be here, speak about ICT, 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 and the world will end there. We're going to compare countries like Uganda with any other country, whereby when someone is into ICT, everyone will come out to support. And today in Uganda, the trust is less. When it comes to ICT tech, people feel you're here to con them. You get the point. Like 90% of Ugandans need to be told,
be like Onomofere.
Need to be told, you're in your comfort zone today, but wait for 3 years. With or without your money, ICT will be better. That is a reminder everyone needs to be told. Because people believe when I'm into ICT, I'm not going to hacking your account. My friend told me, just a minute, my friend told me, you're pushing your kids to do ICT cancer. I'm like,
and your own children stealing from you.
Yes. So we need a lot.
Some mentality she has.
We have a lot to do. We have a lot. We just don't need the money. Like, we don't need to say, come and support these women, give them the money, the knowledge. Do they have the knowledge? Do they know what they're doing?
Well, Regina, what do you think can be done? Because, well, other countries are trying to track down, you know, reach out to many. For example, in India, like some of the women who would go to the call centers, like, they're being tracked down to see how many of them embrace this kind of, you know, this kind of initiative. And once they go out to the villages, they're so happy. They're happy to share with the rest of the other women in rural setup. And also, like, there's development when it comes to their families and the communities where they live, because they're transferring that particular knowledge once they visit such sites. You get it. She says some of the parents are like, they're going to hack. Many would be like, you get it. So what do you think can be done? What would your thought be when it comes to that?
Okay. I believe that every sector that's starting has its phase where there's going to be the early adapters. Early adapters are those businesses which are already right now saying, where are the bottlenecks in my business? Where are those things that are a pain that I could automate or semi-automate, and then utilize existing technologies, because even the existing haven't yet been maximized, or create tools that are tailored to their businesses. Those early adapters, like she said, are creating things beyond creating for their businesses. Because when I create a tool for nutrition services, I'm not just creating it for my business, because I'm making it easier for the next person who create a similar tool to see what works. I'm actually creating a system that can be used by all nutritionists. At some point, I will leverage it for everyone. Why I'm saying that is because at the end of the day, even when we create the publicity, even when we bring in the money, like we said, it goes back to the consumer. And it goes back to the day-to-day operations of our businesses. My business has a target population. My people want to eat healthy, to lose weight, or to maintain their sugar levels. At the end of the day, it's not just about me creating solutions out of the blue. It's about me creating a solution they will appreciate. The moment they get onto that application and they enjoy it, one thing they ask is, you actually did this from Uganda? It's a Ugandan developer?
Can you imagine?
200, even fellow ICT people ask me if I'm using a Ugandan developer.
So you have to take some time to really convince them.
Exactly. But it all starts with me creating a relevant solution. Relevancy, because I've also seen a few people in ICT also just being excited about what they could develop and creating things that are not necessarily for the market. So if I've created something for the market, that means it's relevant to the market. If I have 1,000 customers, those are 1,000 people plus times 3 of the people they live with who know there is an app called Lia that it was developed by a Ugandan. And in that household, there is a young person who is going to be inspired, who is going to say, this was done by a Ugandan, this is cool. And also, there's someone who's going to draw their attention to the reality of ICT is not about social media. You realize that there are so many people who think ICT is about social media. You have an app, oh, it's another social app. So we are drawing attention to people to realize, oh, an app can also be a health app. An app can be a system in a hospital helping doctors refer patients within themselves.
So what can we do for such people? Because at the end of the day, they have to embrace this tool to enable them, you know, to embrace the online tool to enable them promote their businesses. Like it has helped you. You've tried it out with the experience you have. As she says, reach out to such women, the entrepreneurs out there. What needs to be done for them to embrace this?
What needs to be done is for everyone to sit down and analyze what are their bottlenecks, because that's where ICT helps. It helps you to automate the processes that you find repetitive, that you don't need a lot of human interaction on. But it starts with you analyzing your business and your customer needs. So when I analyze, say, merchandise, and I say, what are those things that businesses are struggling with? For example, there are businesses that are small, medium and small scale businesses every day that are posting something on WhatsApp. And then when someone inboxes, they send them the payment link. That's a process they go through every day explaining their product. I'm going to give an example of WhatsApp. What WhatsApp did is it created a catalog. So now you don't have to keep looking through your gallery and looking for the picture to share with the customer who was just asked about this, but they can check out your gallery and even add to cart. They paid attention to how their users were using the system. So for me, I think that's where the focus is, and that's why I was going into the relevancy, the bottleneck. What's that pain point? Because, and it doesn't have to be something extreme. We also want to be too extreme sometimes. It can be something small.
We bring in urban excitement.
Yes, like too much. Like, for example, technologies as simple as the USSD code, *2 etc, a hash, are technologies that seem simple. And I'm sure some ICT people will seem like, oh, that's easy, I won't really do it. Support a business to do it. It seems so little, but it can solve a big problem. And it's an early adapt.
Or maybe they want to make some money at the end of the day to make it kind of complicated, exaggerating it, excitement, and
but
then,
there's complicated.
Because they are the buffet, the buffet exist as well.
But there's complicated help the customer, so it really goes back to being relevant to your customer, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are paying. You said even if they give us a lot of money, at the end of the day, we have to create a sustainable business as women. And these women know their pain points. If we sat down and don't ask them questions in line with, I want to do this technology for you. Ask, be in their businesses, understand their businesses, understand where the pain is. I mean, the simple things. I'm sure most of the most remarkable technologies are things we sit down and think, but this seems simple right now. I mean, mobile money seems simple right now, like send money through a phone. But someone had to pay attention to the pain. So let's stop trying to create...
walking to the village to take the money to the mother.
Yes.
To invest.
And yet they have a phone number they could send to. So I feel like, or Airbnb, like people actually analyze real life problems. Let's not extrapolate our amazing skill set of ICT technologies and create solutions from our desks. The best way to do this, if we are creating them for women in business, let's go to these businesses. If you're an ICT student out there doing internship, don't go just into a place to code and everything. What about if you have an area of interest? You're in ICT, but you have an area of interest, say in nutrition or in health. Go in the health facility. See where the pain is. We are complaining about our health workers not giving us time. Maybe there's something you can automate about their process, maybe arranging the medicine so that they don't have to spend so much time counting tablets, and maybe they will spend more time giving human care to these patients.
Amazing.
So it's that attention to the areas of pain, because at the end of the day, that's what business is about, and businesses run our economy, and the money that comes into the business gives us satiety, gives us, financial satiety. And it also answers the question of the parent. They will ask, will I take my child to ICT? But at the end of the day, if the ICT is paying, they will be more excited about it.
Before she goes there and turns out to be a mufede and fail to go to heaven.
Well, she won't be a mufede if they are revenue.
Well, are there like varieties? Like, for example, if you're into media, there's a lot for you to do. If you're not doing the camera work, you're not into the cables and the engineering, you're not, maybe you're talking like the way I'm doing, Are there specialties or anything one can, explore?
Maybe if I can speak about the specialties, Yes, there are specialities. For example, just like she said, in the health sector, I have been working with a company. Before I came to Women in Technology Uganda, I was working with Mara Scientific, and it is an NGO kind of doing biotechnology. What they do is they build systems for health, hospital management systems, pharmacy management systems, and all that. So if you want, you can actually get into the health sector, and if you are a doctor and really even want to change career or something, you can actually do that and work with the ICT in the health sector as well. When it comes to agriculture, same story. When it comes to, for example, Women in Technology Uganda, what we do, we kind of want to, you know, bridge the gender gap that is between women and men when it comes to technology. So what we do, we empower even that smallest woman in the village who has not even started using a button phone. We kind of, you know, offer mentorship, training, business skills, bookkeeping skills. When it comes to ICT, everyone may think it is coding, programming, coming up with apps and all that. But even using mobile money, being able to use your ATM, because this is an electronic system anyway, and it uses ICT. So you being able to actually use the ATM card successfully is also ICT. You being able to send an SMS, you being able to send an email is ICT. So me speaking for that woman in Karamoja or somewhere deep down in the village there, it all goes back to mentoring these women, showing how relevant technology can be to them. And you have to tell them, for example, you don't need to, you know, travel by bus, go to Kampala and give money to your child. Or if you want to pay fees, you have to, you know, walk to the bank and then pay. Things have been eased by MTN, Airtel. There are USSDs you can use to pay school fees to a school for your child in the comfort of your home. So it all goes back to sensitizing the women, sensitizing everyone that is down there on those small issues, those small things that we think we have understood. Maybe just like you are saying, the programmers have understood, the mobile app developers have understood. There is someone out there that doesn't even understand how to use Gmail. So how can we make that person embrace ICT, sensitizing them? Yeah.
Are there like some softwares that you would think of that are made by women? The app that you're using, the Ugandan? Yeah,
it's called there. I developed it basically to support my clients to eat healthier. I upload pictures of healthy plates, they log their weights there, and they also get their meal plans in app. So it was just for supporting me on that regard, so that the reminders are automated. Yeah.
Anyone you know? Maybe a role model?
My role models are kind of really different. Yes, they are actually in ICT, but not really programmers as well, because much as I am a software developer or a software engineer, I do not only do software development and all that. I ended up in project management. I am passionate about user interface, user experience designs. So about the role models, I think Dr. Okello Dorothy, yeah, the one who co-founded Women of Uganda Network, yeah, is my inspiration up there. She's not a developer, she's not, you know, anything close to software engineer, but she's a woman in ICT, and yeah, I look up to her.
Salute. Salute to her as well. Well, Susan, any role models, or at least you're going to leave this program having a decision to make when it comes to your daughter? Not to be so tough and make the decisions for her, maybe try to make her understand why she has to take this path.
I think I'm in a river of women in tech because I know like 1,000 of them. I've worked with many. I'm into associations like You Will, where there is women in tech. So I don't want to say 1, 2, 3 because all of them inspire me a lot because they do what they do to make sure that women are out there. Not only tech, but women are outstanding. So number 1 should be maybe Maggie because she's not much into tech, but at least she has put in her hand to see that women are out there. Then the second one is Yvonne Mpanga. She has done a lot for women in tech. Then I shouldn't say myself because I haven't done anything, but anyway, thanks to myself too. I inspire myself because I make sure every one morning I look into what should women be adding on into their product to see that they have the market out there.
And to sit back and be behind a man.
Yes. And so I every day, where there is a woman, that word woman, my name should come first. I would favor a woman at any cost. So sweet. I would hire a woman at any cost. I would support a woman at, even if I'm not going to buy and I didn't have a budget of buying, I would do that. So in tech, I would take it for myself. I
walked into some office sometime and then the lady was so observant, like, hey, this one has a wedding ring. That lady has a lot on her. Please come forward. She would not let them be behind. You know, to take a while in the queue. She would always attend to them before. Well, Regina, what are your thoughts when it comes to, okay, maybe words of encouragement before we let you go?
Okay. I was almost thinking about role models, and then I realized there was nothing specific to take. So words of encouragement is that at the end of the day, I'm going to sort of divert the angle from, you know, the focus on women, but then make you realize that even when we focus on technology as a whole, we end up catering for the women. So I want to celebrate every single person out there creating a technological solution to solve something that is repetitive and a pain. You know, that those tasks you're tired of doing every day, and you wish they could be automated. For me, I believe every single one of those people is actually impacting women indirectly, because women are the biggest caregivers. Every time we automate something, we are helping women. If, for example, in agriculture, we automated the seedling, they are putting seedlings, making seedlings. Women will sit down on a mat and put one seedling at a time, making those seedlings for tree planting. If we automated that role, how much time would we save women? And yet they would still sell the seedling and get money. So because of the fact that women take up a big percentage of work that is very labor intensive, not manually, but in terms of the time they spend doing it the whole day, think of weeding, think of, you know, those small things going into even healthcare. So if we automate those, we save women time. When we save women time, we promote their mental well-being. When we promote their mental well-being, we trigger their creativity. There's something about when you actually have space to think strategically and not doing the same daily task every day. And that impact will also be made for the women in business. If we automated tasks for the small-scale business owner, they are going to save time for strategic thinking. When they save time for strategic thinking, they'll grow their business better.
Wow, amazing. Great words of encouragement. I would love to go on and on. And I believe someone out there is also really excited, and at least they've picked one or two things from the entire conversation. Well, thank you so much, Regina, for your time. Thank you, Rovens, for your time. Thank you, Susan. Wish you all the best. And as you continue to lift our sister out there, we're here to celebrate you as UBC. UBC Inspiring Uganda. My name is Sandra Kahunde. I'm proud to have spent a great time with these women and wish them the best. I'll let them go enjoy their week as well. And maybe just a quick one, I had Rovens Kabahinda, software engineer. I also had Nantege Regina, the founder of Impact Nutrition Company. And then I was also joined by Susan Awor, a business administrator, Merchandise Uganda. Once again, Regina, the extreme end, Rovens right here in the middle, and Susan just next to me. Well, now I believe for a student out there, or maybe a parent, you definitely know what to do, why you would want your child to enroll and follow the tech world, or maybe get into the ICT world. There's a lot to specialize in, as they were trying to break it down for you, for the student out there who's still confused, or maybe you could, maybe you're still in senior one, and that is where your passion lies. I believe, at least with this particular episode, you're able to make a decision. Well, we had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. Wish you a blessed week. And we're here waiting to have more of your time. That is tomorrow, same time, same place. Keep it UBC. There's a lot of programs lined up for you to enjoy this Monday. God bless you.